Hello John, today we're going to talk about a man you admire from the 18th century, and he's Fr Michael J McGivney.
That's right. Fr Michael J Joseph McGivney was a great example of an Irish. He was born in the US, but his parents were they were from Ireland. His father was Patrick McGivney, and his mother Mary. Her maiden name was Lynch. So they were immigrants from Ireland. So they had a large family, and 15, 6 of them or so died in infancy. So that would have been tough. Father Michael McGivney Joseph McGivney was born kind of in the middle somewhere, and he went to school. He was born in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah,
he was born in New Haven, Connecticut, and his that, funny enough, is a place where a namesake of my own, a billionaire, founder of Liberty Media and various other companies. And
you're referring to John Malone, the entrepreneur, businessman.
I am, and he went to a school, a Protestant school in New Haven, when he was about 6 or 7. His parents were from Milford in Connecticut, and so it was a blue collar area, and they thought he was falling into bad company, so they sent him to this exclusive Protestant school in New Haven, where Father McGivney was born.
Okay.
That's the strange thing, the coincidence. But Father Michael McGivney, when he became a priest, he started, because his father died when he was young, he had to come back and help the family, leave the studying for the priesthood, come back and help his mother to sort of keep the family together. When he had finished that, he went back and then was ordained a priest. He was the man that started, because of his experience with his own father dying, he started an insurance company with a few parishioners in New Haven, Connecticut, and he gave, if the father died, or the husband of a family, this mutual financial or life insurance business helped the widow and the children to sort of survive and be able to keep the family together, because otherwise they might have been put in orphanages, because there was no such thing as handouts in those times. So he was far seeing the way he started that. As a matter of fact, this is the marvellous thing about him. He was the founder, and recognised as the founder, of the Knights of Colombus in the US, which now has 375,000 knights.
What's their function? What do they do?
Here's what they do. They do charitable and good works in line with their founder, which they speak highly of, Father Michael Joseph McGivney. He helped the poor and destitute. That's what they do, and provide money to parishes and priests throughout the US and abroad where there is financial hardship of one kind or another.
Okay, very good. Very, very noble. And I think you were saying to me there a while back that they've taken, the Knights of Columbus have taken a technological approach to protecting the life of the unborn.
They have, Oliver. What they have done, they have several hundred, and they're aiming to have 1,000 ultrasound machines in hospitals or in not so much hospitals, in places where
kind of where women get counselling, is it?
Yeah, no, ultrasound machines are, well, maybe no, women that seek abortions for one reason or another.
But I'm wondering what's the process? How did he introduce women to this?
Well, they advise the women, they publicise the fact that they have this facility, and they recommend that women that are contemplating abortion for one reason or another, with maybe perfectly healthy children, at least to go along and check this ultrasound machines. These enable them to see the baby in the womb, and in a lot of cases women that have been planning abortions have changed their mind because they can see the child, and in some occasions the child is looking at them in the womb.
Oh wow.
Now it's an extraordinary facility, and it's something that's the first I heard about it when I was had a good fortune to see the annual general meeting of the Knights of Colombus on EWTN, which is a Catholic news channel and available here. And this is where I heard about the ultrasound machines. Now, there's abortion available in the UK since 1972 or 67, one or the other, and 8 million babies have been aborted. Potential citizens have been aborted in that jurisdiction. Dreadful state of affairs. There's efforts now to introduce the same thing here. The ill-named Citizen Assembly recommended abortion, or pro-choice as they might euphemistically call it, and this will give women the right to have abortions up nearly to the age of, up to the time that the child could be born. And they put in one item which is more or less not available in most other countries in the world, particularly on poverty grounds, up to the practically child being born. So this is a dreadful recommendation from this ill-named and dreadful Citizens Assembly.
Okay.
Now, it should be possible for the powers that be, i.e. the government in this country, if they're that anxious to bring about and confuse people and bring in abortion, that at least there would be these ultrasound machines that people that contemplate such a situation to terminate their pregnancy and prevent a human being being born, that they would have this facility at least to see what they're going to do, because when they do this abortion, a lot of them have psychological problems the rest of their lives, which we don't hear about.
And also, of course, they're they're vulnerable because a lot of them probably, or some of them anyway, would be teenage pregnancies.
Correct.
They're little more than children, really.
I'll give you one example of a teenage pregnancy that happened in the US, I think in 1967. A 16-year-old high school girl gave birth to a child, and the 18-year-old married her. There was no abortion in the US at that time. That marriage lasted about a year, and subsequently that child was adopted by the 60-year-old, when she maybe was 18, 19, married a Cuban by the name of Boris. And that person is the founder of that big organisation, Amazon, a multi-millionaire.
You're talking about Jeff, I think Jeff Bezos, or I think is his name.
That's right, that chap. Now, he would have been aborted if abortion hadn't been there. If a 16-year-old would have more than likely a student in a high school, that he would have been aborted. Now, I know he doesn't talk about that He's a person that follows science fiction and wants to go into space and all this, and maybe wants to put money into some science organisation where he might be able to live much longer than would be humanly possible. So it's a wonder he doesn't concentrate and give support to the pro-life lobby, and not waste his money on such useless undertakings. Do something for his fellow man, as Fr McGivney did, and as the Knights of Columbus in America do. They have given to the popes, since their foundation practically, over €1 million per annum. At this stage they've given over 50 to use at his discretion for charitable purposes. They have helped an area in Iraq which had Christians for to rebuild that town that was destroyed by the Muslim extremists, ISIS as they call them. They're Muslim extremists. They're rebuilding that so as that Christians can go back where they've been for nearly 2,000 years since our Saviour was in this world. It was a Christian country before the Muslim hordes took it over, to the detriment of the Christians. So they've done that. They do a tremendous amount of good work all over the US and abroad. So this is the organisation founded by Fr Michael J McGivney.
He died a young man, John.
He did. He died of pneumonia. He worked tirelessly to help the poor in that area that he was in New Haven in Connecticut. So he contracted pneumonia and died.
At the age of 38, was it?
He's 38 years of age, very young. He had a great future ahead of him, but he was taken to his maker, and he's now the venerable, and they're looking, there's an effort to have him declared as a blessed and then a saint, because his life was so exemplary in every area.
That's a great story about Fr Michael McGivney, John. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.